CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Tammy McCormick. Federal charges have been filed in the weekend attack in Boulder, Colorado that left 8 people injured. They were rallying in support of hostages held in Gaza. Correspondent Matt Piper reports.
The Justice Department has filed federal charges against the man police say threw a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails that burned multiple people. The DOJ says Mohammed Salman is being charged with a federal hate crime in addition to facing state charges for attempted murder in Colorado. Investigators say the 45-year-old yelled "Free Palestine" during the attack.
CBS's Nicole Skanga on the security concerns raised by the attack in the aftermath of the killing of 2 Israeli embassy workers in Washington.
There has been a lot of discussion here in Washington, D.C. among lawmakers about what's called the Nonprofit Security Grant Program. That is a program that provides funding to synagogues, to churches, to temples in order to bolster actual physical security, things like fences, cameras. That funding was frozen under the Trump administration until about 2 weeks ago, and it has since restarted.
Stacey Lynn reports the Supreme Court decided against weighing in on a case over assault weapons bans.
The justices declined to decide whether Maryland's ban on semi-automatic rifles such as AR-15s violates the Second Amendment's right to bear arms.
The argument's being made that, frankly, AR-15s are totally outside the scope of the Second Amendment. They didn't exist.
But legal analyst Lori Levinson says we will continue to see this fight regarding the Constitution.
And to what extent jurisdictions can put bans on what they consider to be particularly dangerous weapons or large-capacity magazines.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
The White House said today that trade talks between President Trump and China's president could come any day. Correspondent Nancy Cordes is at the White House.
Several White House officials have said now that they expect that President Trump and President Xi will speak at some point this week. They say there's a willingness to speak, but they won't give us a date or a time.
CBS News correspondent Rob Marciano reports there's a giant plume of dust heading across the Atlantic from Africa's Sahara Desert.
It's over Puerto Rico. Actually, air quality issues are poor there. It'll probably come over South Florida as well over the next couple of days. And so it brings its own issues. But the good news with the dust, it does knock down hurricane activity.
Hurricane season began yesterday as wildfires continue burning in Canada. The problem across the northern tier of the U.S. is smoke and haze. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial's up 35 points. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear the good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 70 degrees in Oakland, California.
Okay.